So today, we're diving into a GitHub repository that has just absolutely exploded in popularity, catching the attention of tens of thousands of developers. It's really the perfect storm of powerful AI tools, some very clever community workarounds, and of course, the age-old problem of software paywalls.
So picture this. You're totally in the zone, you're coding away, using this amazing new AI assistant. You're making incredible progress, the code is just flowing, and then bam! Out of nowhere, your whole workflow just grinds to a halt. You've hit a wall, and that wall looks a little something like this.
Yup, a message just like this one. It's what users of the AI-powered code editor Cursor have been running into. It's your classic digital paywall, right? It's designed to nudge free users into becoming paying customers. But, when a tool becomes that critical to your workflow, a message like this is way more than just an inconvenience.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break this down. We'll start with the problem itself, hitting that trial limit. Then we'll look at the absolutely massive community response it sparked. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty of how this tool claims to work, see how you actually run it, and then, and this is really important, we'll cover the warnings from the author.
So the whole issue really kicks off with this trial limit in the Cursor code editor. And look, it's a common practice. Companies have to prevent people from abusing their free tiers. But for developers who started really relying on the tool's advanced features, this limit became a huge roadblock.
And you know how it is in the developer community, where there's a hurdle, a workaround is probably not too far behind. But in this case, the response wasn't just some little workaround, it became a full-blown phenomenon.
The community's reaction is just so clear from this one number, over 41,000 stars on GitHub. Now, to put that in perspective, that puts this repository in the same league as some really big, well-established open-source projects. It's just a massive signal of how many people were desperate for a solution.
And it doesn't even stop there. With 5,000 forks? That tells us a huge number of users aren't just downloading the tool, they're copying the entire codebase, probably for their own use or maybe even to tweak it. The community engagement here is it's off the charts. So, the source of all this buzz is a public repository named Cursor Free VIP. Its purpose is, well, pretty obvious right there in the title. It's all about helping users get past that frustrating trial limit message.
All right, so how does this thing actually work? What does the script really claim to be doing under the hood?
According to the author, the script basically does two main things. First, it resets Cursor's machine ID. Now that's likely the way the software keeps track of whether your specific computer has already used up its free trial. Second, it tries to bypass the token limits, which gives users continued access to those more powerful pro AI features.
So if you dig into the repository's documentation, it highlights a few key features. Beyond just resetting things and bypassing limits, its cross-platform support is a huge reason for its popularity. Doesn't matter if you're on Windows, a Mac, or a Linux machine, the tool is designed to work for you.
Now, a tool can have all the best features in the world, but if it's a pain to use, it's not going to go viral. And a huge part of the Cursor-free VIP story is just how ridiculously easy it is to get going. The author lays out 3 really simple but really crucial steps. First, the Cursor app has to be totally shut down so the script can actually mess with its files. Second, because it's changing application data, you have to run it with elevated permissions, so administrator on Windows or root on macOS and Linux. And then third, there's the execution itself. And this is where the simplicity it really shines. For most people, it's just a single command to copy and paste into your terminal. This one-liner just pulls the installation script from GitHub and runs it automatically. It removes pretty much every barrier to entry. So this brings us past the how and straight into the should you, because the author is actually very specific about the tool's intended use and the potential risks involved. And here it is, the main disclaimer. Framing the tool as being for learning and research purposes, that's a pretty common approach for projects that live in this kind of legal or ethical gray area. The author is literally telling users to follow Cursor's own terms of service, even while giving them a tool that seems specifically designed to get around them.
So here's the crucial point. The author draws this very clear line in the sand. On one side, they claim the repository itself isn't illegal. But on the other, they make it crystal clear that if you choose to run this script, any and all consequences, whether they're technical or legal, are on you, the user.
The author is also pretty open about the problems you might run into, and the most telling one is that user is not authorized error. Apparently, this often means Cursor has banned the user's account for trying to sign up with a disposable email address, which is just a perfect sign of a constant cat-and-mouse game between service providers and users.
And just as a final piece of technical info, let's take a quick look at the tech behind the tool. As you can see, it's overwhelmingly a Python project, which honestly makes perfect sense. Python is just ideal for this kind of cross-platform scripting and file manipulation, with a few little shell and PowerShell scripts to kick the whole process off.
And that really brings us to our final thought. The cursor-free VIP repository, it's more than just a script. It's a data point. Its massive popularity brings up a really important question about the modern software world. As these powerful AI-driven tools get more and more woven into our daily workflows, how is that delicate balance between user access and a sustainable business model going to evolve? It's a tension that is clearly playing out in real time, one GitHub star at a time.